The popularity of e-commerce is at an all-time high in 2024, and so is the rise of fake gurus who hit their first $1,000 day and then feel entitled to sell a course or to start teaching online. And that leads to a rise in learning the wrong information and in you being lied to. And since the most important tips and tricks are hiding behind a paywall, I'm gonna be exposing the biggest dropshipping secrets that most gurus won't tell you. All right, so the first secret is an answer to a question that I commonly get, which is dropshipping more competitive now than it was even just a couple of years ago, maybe even a year ago? And the answer is absolutely, right? Dropshipping is only getting harder, and it's only getting more competitive as AI advances and you can build a store in minutes using an AI tool. You can find products using research tools that scrape them for you based on data. You can launch ads using softwares that will literally set everything up for you. And because of this flood of new competition, it does make it more difficult for an individual who's just starting out in this game to succeed. However, the percentage of people that try dropshipping and that try to build an e-commerce business that succeed is still going to remain the same. So with more competition actually comes more data and more opportunities to learn from the mistakes of other people that aren't going to be resilient enough to succeed in the business model. So anyone that tells you that it's easier to succeed now than it has ever been with dropshipping is completely lying to you. And the truth is, it's just easier to start. But anything that's easy to start is really hard to be good at. Otherwise, everyone would be good at it and they'd excel and they'd make millions of dollars with the business model. And that's not the reality of this business model. All right, the second secret that I want to share with you today is that there's no magic formula to success with paid advertising. In fact, all that matters in the beginning of you building up your e-commerce brand is your product and your creatives. I can say this confidently after having managed over $50 million of cumulative spend, both individually on my own brands, through students' brands, and also through my marketing agency. All paid ad platform algorithms are going towards autonomy, which means that it's becoming easier and easier for the platforms and their AI to do all of the heavy lifting for us and reduce the amount of errors that we can make when it comes to advertising our products. And therefore, the outlying variables that are still in our control and hold the strongest weight when it comes to e-commerce success, again, is your product and your ad creatives. So right now, if you're learning how to master paid ads, that's great because it is an important skill of e-commerce. But if you're not investing in courses and trainings surrounding how to hire, train, and negotiate UGC creators, how to manage organic content, how consumer psychology plays a huge role in the content creation process, right? All of those things that involve content and ad creative mastery. And similarly, you should also be spending the most time figuring out what the inherent characteristics of products that are most likely to succeed are, and learning from the many case studies that are on YouTube of the winning products that have performed for different individuals. That way you can actually see what has worked, where you have evidence it has worked, and then reverse engineer why it works so you can find products that are more like those that have already scaled to millions of dollars. And again, that you have evidence have scaled to millions of dollars. Because a lot of people might tell you that they've scaled a product, but there's no evidence, there's no results that they can actually prove to you in order to back up that claim. And before we hop over to the next secret, you might be like, well, Kyle, what is the best ad strategy to use in 2024? And the truth is there's no right or wrong strategy, and you really can't go wrong with CBO or ABO, or whether you have 3 creatives or 5 creatives. What I like to do in the beginning is launch an ABO where I'm launching a variety of different ad sets that could be multiple interests stacked into one ad set. I might have a broad ad set. I might have single interest that I'm testing out, or hashtags on TikTok. But the important thing is that you're testing multiple different audience types and that you have multiple really good creatives and a very strong product around those creatives at the ad level. There is no secret formula to this, and generally when you scale, you end up just going with broad ad sets or really big singular interests and letting the algorithm do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. So just make sure that you don't buy Facebook ad or TikTok ad courses from 3 years ago, because a lot of those strategies are probably outdated and are not going to give you an accurate perspective of what's working right now. All right, the third secret that I wanted to share with you that might be a hard pill to swallow if you fall under this category and you've been a victim of someone else's content saying that you don't need any capital to start and to succeed with this business model, is that this business model does require capital. And I really don't recommend anyone getting into it that has anything less than 10 grand in startup capital, or that is partnered with someone who has a lot of organic marketing experience, because organic marketing is tough. And the truth is, most of the successful people that I know that are running organic marketing, that are driving traffic to their business organically, have only been able to do so after spending tens of thousands of dollars on creators, on education, on coaching, experimenting with paid ads, product research softwares, all of the costs that go into any traditional business that you never want to overlook. And so, yes, while there are some people that do build highly profitable e-commerce businesses with next to nothing in terms of startup capital when it comes to content creation, they spent tens of thousands of dollars just to learn and acquire the skills to be able to consistently and repeatedly build brands using that organic traffic method. And it's very unlikely that you'll just be able to skip that line and launch a few TikToks and make millions of dollars. And so again, if you're one of those people that have fallen victim to this idea that you're gonna have to spend little to no money to make 10K, 20K, 30K a month in profit with this business, then I'm sorry, but you're sadly mistaken. And don't even get me started with things like processor holds or problems that can arise when you are doing business, right? Let's say you do have a brand that you're doing organic marketing for, and you do have a viral TikTok video and you make 20 grand in a day, but that all gets held in PayPal because you have no idea what you're doing because you're learning from people that also have no idea what they're doing and they got lucky with one viral video. And let me tell you, when you do get that hold, you're still, as a business owner, obligated to fulfill all those orders, to pay all of your team members. You had to withstand all of those transaction fees that came in. And now, even though on paper you've made money, you're at a negative bank balance. And that is more along the lines of the realities of organic marketing or partnering with influencers and making a ton of money very quickly, even if you have no hard, tangible skills on how to build businesses and market e-commerce businesses effectively. All right, so coming in at number 4, and the final secret is that most of my successful e-commerce friends and the e-commerce founders that I know that are making millions of dollars per month are doing one of two things that not a lot of people talk about. Number one, they're either drop shipping in countries that are significantly less competitive than the United States, such as Germany, France, Norway, Netherlands, Denmark, Belgium, and a variety of other countries that are in general being marketed products to significantly less than the behemoth of a consumer market such as the United States. Now, a lot of people will tell you need fancy processors and you need a team member that can translate all of your ads and your landing pages manually and all of these things, and that's simply not the case, or it's at least not as overwhelming as a lot of people make it out to be. There's AI tools that will actually translate your entire landing page based on the geolocation of your customer. So if they're in Germany and they get to your website, there's apps that can translate your landing page based on where they're visiting from so that your landing page is in German and the currency of your product that they're being shown is in euros. And it makes it feel as though it's personalized for their experience, when in reality, you could sell to any country you want on your website. Now, again, by selling in these less competitive countries, oftentimes you're gonna have lower costs, you're gonna have higher success rates, you're not gonna have to have as perfect of creatives. Customers will be more forgiving on your landing page structure. Whereas if you're in the United States, you really have to brand that product page, you have to have phenomenal creatives, and you have to have really good offers if you want to be profitable with paid ads. Now, that brings me to the second layer of this secret, which is that most of the successful brands that I get to see behind the scenes of that are running paid ads to the United States are mitigating the risk of the rising costs of paid advertising with their organic marketing and their influencer marketing and their email marketing and their subscriptions and all of these other things that most people don't think of when they just get into dropshipping. Now, I'm not saying that you can't run a profitable dropshipping store in the United States exclusively with paid ads. In fact, that's exactly what I'm doing with one of my brands right now. But if you don't have the 6+ years of experience that I have and many other brand owners that are doing it that way have, it's going to be incredibly difficult for you to survive in today's paid advertising climate if you don't have a high volume of cost-effective traffic that is coming in to your website that's combating the rising cost of paid ads. For example, my agency has been working with a company that sells candy online. They have over 200,000 followers on TikTok, over 100,000 followers on Instagram, and they make just under $600,000 a month. Now, you'd think that with $600,000 in revenue, they have to be spending at least $200,000, $250,000 on paid advertising, but they're actually spending less than $50,000 on paid ads. Now, if you consider cost of creators and organic content as part of your marketing costs, which I recommend that you do, they only spend about $10,000 a month on creator costs. So all in, they're spending about $60,000 on all of their marketing efforts, and they're making back over $600,000 a month. If they didn't have that organic sales channel, they didn't have killer email and SMS marketing, and they didn't have a rock star paid advertising team and a team that's also helping them acquire super high quality ad creatives, they would be nowhere near as successful as they are right now, exclusively with paid ads. All right, so for some some of you, this might have been a disheartening video, but I'm always going to keep it real here and tell you exactly what you need to do in order to be successful with e-commerce. And it's not easy, because if it was, everyone else would be doing it. And I know it might feel like everyone is crushing it in this business model because of what you see on Instagram and the Lamborghinis and the yachts and the traveling and all this stuff. But in reality, that's just because your Instagram algorithm is really good at feeding you the things that you want to see. You want to see the possibilities with the business model. You want to see the good in people and in opportunity. And so even if it's only 0.1% of the people that actually get started in the business model, you're getting exposed to those people individually on your feed. And that's a great thing from a motivation perspective. But from a realisticness perspective, you're gonna have to put in a lot of work to make this business model work, learn from the right people, and make sure that you have someone in your corner that's holding you accountable to getting it done, who's actually walked that path before you. And if you want me and my team in your corner, you're always more than welcome to check out the links in the description of these YouTube videos. And if not, you are more than welcome to continue to learn from all of the free content that we're continuously going to be putting out that is hopefully more valuable to you than most people's paid content. All right, that wraps up today's video. I hope you guys found it informative, and please leave a comment below on what type of videos you want me to be creating, whether it's on product research, on ad creatives, on paid advertising, on organic marketing, any of those pillars of e-commerce that you're struggling with and that you want me to create a specific video around. I'm more than happy to do so. So leave that comment down below or shoot me a DM on Instagram, and I look forward to helping you scale.